I'm Haley Menard from the Sugar Burger, and today we are doing a little battle between box cake mix and a homemade cake. We're using Funfetti as our baseline factor, and we're gonna have Mr. Menard give you the skinny on which one is more fun and more Fetti. So right off the bat, there is a lot of ingredients in this cake compared to ripping and dumping a box. We have sugar, flour, an egregious amount of eggs. That's like it's 9 eggs. That's almost a whole dozen. Eggs are like $1 million a package right now. Vanilla milk, sprinkles, oil, your leavener, salt, and butter. Just like with any cake, you're gonna start by creaming butter and sugar. After you cream the butter and sugar, you're going to have to add the vanilla, and then we can move on to dry ingredients. So we are using 9 tablespoons of butter. I guess 1 stick wasn't enough. They needed this pinch more in the recipe. Debutter my fingers. And then we are adding 3 cups of sugar, full-blown diabetes. So when you're creaming butter and sugar, you wanna make sure that it gets really fluffed up before you stop that process. A little slowly, since we just saw it puff up. We're gonna pick up the pace a little, or a lottle, however you wanna look at it. We are to the point where we can add the oil. It's not as fluffy as other recipes, but it is definitely past sandcastle phase. You're beginning to see a little bit more volume out of the sugar and butter. This phase is very mashed potato-y looking, but like bad buffet mashed potatoes. You can tell by how light this mixture is that this is gonna be a super light cake. All right, we're at the point where we are going to add our dry ingredients and our milk. You add them to this mixture. It's kind of like a you go, I go situation. A little bit of dry ingredients, a little bit of milk. Our dry ingredients are going to be 4 cups of flour plus 2 tablespoons, 4.5 teaspoons of baking powder, which is also a lot, and some salt. I'm whisking this together. That's what the recipe called for. Normally I would sift, but I'm gonna follow the recipe and risk it. One more thing, we forgot our vanilla. 4 teaspoons of vanilla. You need that in there, or it's not gonna taste like anything. It's gonna taste like sugar bread. Time for our you go, I go situation. So I'm gonna go flour first, let it combine, and then some milk, flour again. I'm gonna taste it. There's no eggs in this yet, so there's no salmonella. Yep. Tastes like butter and sugar and vanilla. Are you ready for something important? We're switching bowls today. This is gonna be set aside, and I'm gonna bring out old, generic, reliable stainless steel bowl to whip up these 9 egg whites. I separate my eggs, just like gently fondle the yolk. It's very similar to an intimate situation. Here we have our 9 egg whites, and we're gonna dump those in. We're going to mix them into stiff peaks, which means I should be able to either A, hold the bowl over my head, or B, grab this beater out, stick it right side up, and its hair still has a Don King effect situation. Start it on low until you see bubbles forming, and then you can kick it up. Give this a check. I'll hold it over my head right now. It's totally fine. Boom. That's what happens when you bake confidently. We are going to fold these egg whites into the batter we made previously, along with the sprinkles. I'm going to mix these egg whites in a little bit at a time. If we do it all at once, there's gonna be like an overflow situation. It's gonna look very similar to like a Cancun foam party, which could also put the fun in Funfetti, I suppose. So folding, you go around and down. You can scoop all the way around and down. Do you have enough folding footage, Susan?
Yeah, I got plenty of
This is heavy. You're trying to be gentle, right? If you just stir this in, your egg whites are gonna deflate and you're not gonna get the tenderness and the lift that the recipe is wanting you to get. And you'll see like the consistency of your batter change. It's gonna become puffier and lighter and etc. I just said etc. because I couldn't think of any more adjectives. You see how gelatinous it is? That's what you're getting from putting the egg whites in. So you see right away that the batter texture has changed. And now for the money shot of the sprinkles.
Stop
So this batter is donezo. We are going to put it into some cupcake tins. I like to use an ice cream scoop. A, it's gonna be the same amount every time. B, you don't make a huge, giant mess. All right, are we ready?
Yes.
Box mix time. And I'm not even putting away the tray because we're doing half and half here. We're gonna have another appearance by Mr. Whisk. No need for heavy machinery on this one. Step 2 is dumping it in. This recipe calls for 3 eggs, half a cup of oil, and 1 cup of water. No folding required, just whisking. Oh, hand cramp. Oh. Okay, this batter looks very different. Dare I say not as beautiful. Still smells pretty good. There's still Fetti in there for a fun effect, but that's it. Obviously a lot less laborious. So let's scoop it into our tray. So we have 6 homemade Fancy Pants Funfetti cupcakes, 6 box mix Funfetti cupcakes, and they're all going in the oven together at 350 degrees. Middle rack, 17 minutes. Don't mess with the bottom rack. It's gonna just burn you every single time. All right, it's frosting time. To start, your base is gonna be some sort of fat. Butter, usually. So this is a whole pound of butter, 4 sticks. This is a huge batch of frosting. This butter is room temperature to enhance its creaming abilities. We're gonna get it going a little bit, and then we're gonna add powdered sugar. We have 6 cups of that here. So again, a shit ton of sugar. Looks like all the sugar is incorporated into the butter now. So the next step is 6 tablespoons of heavy cream and 2 teaspoons of vanilla, which is roughly 2 capfuls. The last thing that goes into this frosting, you should add a little bit of salt. Almost every time I make vanilla frosting and someone has it, like, this is the best frosting I've ever had. And it's just that pinch of salt that makes it so much more, I don't even know, delicious. It tastes so much more vanilla. And we're gonna do our final whisk, and it's gonna be beautiful, lustrous frosting in the very next shot. All right, I think we're good. It is beautifully white and definitely the consistency I like my frosting. The next step with this would be to put it in a piping bag. Of course, when they're done, they need to cool. Otherwise, you're gonna make a hot running mess and it's gonna look a whole lot like something else. Semen is what it looks like. Our cupcakes are beepity beeping behind me, so that means that they're done. So I'm gonna give them a quick check. Very different results. So these are golden, which we already kind of talked about the difference in color, but they're definitely like more puffed up. So to check if they're done, I just did like the normal trick of toothpick in, toothpick out. Some of these definitely ended up bigger than others. So these need to cool for a while before you frost them. I'm gonna throw them on a cooling tray and we will get to that fun part very soon. So if you haven't been following along to this YouTube channel, you're not yet aware of how useful beer glasses are in the kitchen. I use them to fill my piping bags so that I don't have to like hold it in the air and like get shit all over my hands. It's just like a really easy way to do this. Grab the sides, and now we have tons of frosting in our bag. So I lost my scissors. I used them to cut open the Funfetti box mix and now they're gone. And bada bing, it's go time. Final step, we're gonna frost these babies. I do a circle around and then it's little boop, kind of like a Hershey kiss. We're gonna do the same for our second cake. Boop. Final touches, some more Fetti. Just do a few sprinkles, let people know what they're getting into, and voila, we have our head-to-head homemade versus box cupcake. Now's the time to compare. Today, Nate,
Yes.
you're gonna blind taste test and see which one you feel is superior. This is Exhibit A.
Are you gonna take the paper off?
Yes, I'm gonna take the paper off. All right, open your mouth. All right, you can bite now.
The sponge
Oh,
was quite good.
someone's been watching Bake Off.
It was moist.
Yeah,
It was very soft.
yeah.
I give it a 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, this is Exhibit B. All right, open and bite. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay.
That one's got a little weird aftertaste in the sponge. A little dense. Maybe like a 6. It was good, but the first one, it was light and like airy, which was nice.
Okay. All right. You can defold yourself. You could have liked this one more because you're a trash person. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or it could simply just be better. I'm gonna try it. You don't mass market something for no reason. That's quite good.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, I like that one better.
Do you?
I think it has more flavor to it, and I like the texture better.
Maybe I got a weird bite.
It's okay, babe. You can have a different opinion. Well, this concludes Nate's portion, and as always, he brings a lot of surprise and doubt to my baking skills. So, well, there you have it. Another episode where Mr. Menard is less than impressed. So the box cake reigns as the champion here. I guess you do mass market things for a reason because they are good. I feel like maybe I could have messed up this cake recipe, but you were with me every step of the way, so I feel like you would have said something. And that's it. That concludes the Battle of the Batches.